All right, this first story is called New Messages.
It's early morning. The sun won't be up for another couple of hours. You're fast asleep in bed, lost in a dream, when the phone rings. Rather than waking up, you roll over and cover your head with a pillow. Hours pass. By the time you will yourself to turn the alarm off, the phone has stopped ringing. You realize it's been ringing all morning. You slide out of bed and press the blinking red button on your phone as you stumble into the bathroom. The phone beeps, followed by the friendly electronic voice. Hello, you have 666 new messages. Message 1. That's fucking scary, dude. 666 new messages. That's significant. The phone beeps again, and you're not prepared for what comes next. Screaming. The phone is screaming. You spin around, thinking that she's standing right behind you. There's pure terror in her screams, accompanied by other disturbing noises. You stand there horrified for about 10 seconds. Exactly 10 seconds. Screaming gives way to hysterical, garbled crying before dying out with the sounds of spilling meat and tearing flesh. The phone beeps again. You're shaking. Message 2. Dude, just unplug your fucking answering machine, bro. Also, what year is this? You got like a Seinfeld ass tape answering machine that just goes and goes. I think that this could be scary if it wasn't so corny. I guess he did something, the female girl, the Foyd on the phone, he did something and this is like his like torture, his punishment. Or maybe she's just a rancid bitch and she's in hell and you should be having a beer with me instead of fucking writing a creepypasta about it, because that's awesome. I don't know. I didn't write the thing. Next. This next scary story is called Mariana Mordegard Glesklov. I'm already shivered in my timbers thinking about it. There is a video on YouTube named Mariana Mordecai Gilbini. If you search this, you will find a video of a man staring intently at you, expressionless, then grinning for the last 2 seconds. The background is undefined. The full video lasts 2 minutes and was removed by YouTube after 153 people who viewed it gouged out their eyes and mailed them to YouTube's main office in San Bruno. Said people had also committed suicide in various ways. How do you gouge your eyes out without committing suicide? How do you get away with that? Do you have like a blowtorch handy and you like blast your fucking eyeballs out once you got them out? Like, I'm suspending my disbelief. This is artistic vision. It is not known how they managed to mail their eyes out after gouging them out. The cryptic inscription they carved onto each of their forearms has yet to be deciphered either. YouTube will periodically put up the first 20 seconds of the video to quell suspicions so that people will not go looking for the real thing and upload it. The video itself was only viewed by one actual YouTube staff member who began screaming 45 seconds in. I can imagine like the either the AI agent or like the call center in India, and there's just this guy in the fucking cubicle screaming his head off because he's looking at a picture of a white man. The man is now under constant sedation, apparently unable to recall what he saw. Other people who were in the same room at the time, who eventually turned off the video, say that all they heard was a high-pitched drilling sound. None of them dared to look at the screen. A person who uploaded the video was never found, the IP address being non-existent. The man in the video has never been identified. There's this weird creepypasta trope of like explicitly laying out times and figures. For example, exactly 153 people killed themselves. Um, the man grins for exactly 2 seconds. It's just like, I don't know, that's I mean, I am pretty bad at math, so numbers do scare me. If I had to rate this story, I'd probably rate it a 2 out of 10. I think it's mad funny that despite the facts that people are literally carving their eyeballs out, YouTube keeps uploading the video. YouTube headquarters itself uploads 2 minutes of the video to like what prevent people from searching it up. But actually, no, I actually like that YouTube is continuing to disseminate this evil video because they secretly want to collect more eyeballs for views. For views. The Grifter. The Grifter is an alleged video that was first mentioned somewhere on 4chan's X image board. Watching it is said to be a soul-rending experience far more horrible than anything one could imagine. It's almost like you want me to imagine it. Oh. The image on the right supposedly contains screenshots from some of the scenes in the video. The few that have watched it were rumored to have been found killed in their own homes, with the one thing in common between the murders being the strange doll hidden somewhere inside the victims' houses. There is a message at the end of the video in the constructed international auxiliary language Esperanto. It says, "This child, now a young man, is still alive and lives in a local shelter whose name was not given. He never spoke and is still catatonic." Ooh. Gregory's room. My life has always been pretty cheerful. I thought this was a fucking scary story. Fine, next one. This was made possible by my friends, family, a bright future at my university, and nothing particularly harmful happened to me so far. Everyone I know has nice thoughts of me, as I have of them. All my teachers and I get along really well, and despite having no known relatives other than my parents, I don't really care much. I've always thought of my friends as brothers. Sure. I had, however, something I hid for years. I, like many other people I know, am a 90s kid. I'm pretty sure even adults during that time liked those years too. Cool. It was all about video games, simplicity, and good TV cartoons. I will always stand by the fact that cartoon fan bases are objectively the weirdest subhumans on Earth. Like, if there's like a Fairly Odd Parents community, those people, they gotta go. Like, what? That's insanity to me. It's also funny to think that our character knows that everybody's on the same page. It's all about cartoons, even if you're a grown ass adult living in the 90s. The dream of becoming a cartoon tester came to me when I was just 6 years old. My parents accepted it delightedly when I told them. After all, it was the perfect job for someone my age. One afternoon, they took me to Nickelodeon HQ in quotations. I was so excited to see everything they were making before anybody else watched it. My friends would be so jealous. I stood there in a room with a big TV and a DVD player, the first time I actually saw one. There were about 5 other kids that were, like me, expecting to watch cartoons all day. The room felt somewhat like a living room, probably to make us feel more comfortable. It had a carpet, chairs, a table, potted plants, and a nice warm shade of red paint on the walls. It's kind of funny how this young writer tries to make the room seem like it's a living room just by putting stuff in it, but all of the things he described could theoretically be in any other room. You know, A plus for effort, I guess. A staff member came out of nowhere with a CD, smiling at us. "We're going to make a new series on Nick Jr. If you like it, then we'll send the first season to your parents in no time," he said with a cheery tone. The kids and me started celebrating as the man inserted the CD into the DVD player. He inserted the CD into the DVD player. Does that work? "I'll be back in a while," he said with a bright smile as he left the room. The TV displayed a static screen, which was odd since it was the newest they had been selling that year. Eventually, it showed a warm fireplace burning. The camera then panned out to reveal the whole room. There was no music at all. Nor did the sequence introduce anything. Okay. The room looked warm and soft. A chair faced a window, showing stars in a night sky. A bald head was on the chair. It slowly turned, showing a face with big, creepy eyes and a surprisingly realistic mouth. Me and all the kids were surprised about this man and his appearance. We waited to see what happened. I mean, if you're trying to write a scary story, you definitely should describe the thing as creepy, so I know that I have to be afraid of it. A robotic, emotionless voice broke the silence as the man said, "Oh, I didn't see you there." The camera turned around, showing his crudely made CGI body. He greeted us and said, "Hello, I'm Gregory, and this is my room." I've been playing Pikmin 2 recently, so I'm getting my fair share of bad CG bald men. I need in the comments, are we Team Olimar or Team Louie? The camera zoomed in on his creepy face. "We're going to have so much fun together, just the two of us." He pointed at the window. "We can look at the stars together." He held a book. "We can read this book together." The camera showed us the fireplace as Gregory said, "We can stare into the glorious flames of the fireplace together." Whoa. The silence was crushing. All the kids looked confused and at each other. We waited again as Gregory stared into the fire. His face suddenly appeared again, and the camera slowly zoomed in. "But no matter what we do, it will just be the two of us, and no one else in this room. Just me and you. No parents, no police, no one can hear you." Distorted background music began playing as his face got closer and closer. Not only that, but his voice and the background itself started to get weird as transparent flames took over the place. "Embrace me. I need love. Greg Gregory needs love." I don't even know how you. What would that sound like? Let's just say, like, you're a 90-year-old lady and your grandson really wants to read scary online stories, but he's only 5 and you don't want him to be, like, fucked up about it. So you just, like, do a little research, you write your own little story, and this is gonna have him. He can tell all the friends at the schoolyard that you read a scary story the other day. That's what that's kind of getting to me. I don't know. Are we trying to scare Mormons? Like, who are we trying to scare with this stuff? The movie ended with his paralyzed face all over the screen. Every kid started crying uncontrollably as the man from some minutes ago came in. Also, they're not all alone. They're in a room with a bunch of friends, so this isn't scary at all. Checkmate, you fucking writer, you ruined your own story. He had a very angry look on his face, and his words pierced through my memory. "You." I thought that guy learned his lesson long ago. But he yelled furiously as he went through the door along with the other kids. The screen went black and I secretly took the CD. It had clean, simple, plain text written on it that said Gregory's Room. After a few days, there was some news about parents suing Nickelodeon for showing inappropriate content. They even got as far as labeling the incident as a show that was ultimately rejected due to a poor focus group result. My parents were so frightened that they didn't let me near the place again. We lived relatively close to Nick HQ. Until then, I kept the CD with me, hoping to understand one day the meaning of such a dreadful creation. This story's fucking dreadful, I could tell you that for free. Did anyone watching grow up near Nickelodeon HQ, and, like, did they let you go there and just, like, hang out? Like, why would you go fucking harass these people at their place of business? What are they gonna do for you, right? You wanna go visit Dan Schneider? Alright, I thought that I was done for today, but I got one more left in the tank. This is called The Idol, and it has a fucking rad-ass pixel art image on it. This goes fucking hard. A little pixel art dinosaur skeleton man with cool cartoon fire around it. Let's see. In the early 80s, an episode of the show Antiques Roadshow ended in tragedy when the auction house caught on fire, killing everyone inside. For years, there was no indication of what started the fire, but the recovery of a camera that was being used to film the episode offers a look into the last few minutes before the fire started. It was near the end of an episode, and the appraiser, James, had come to the table of a disheveled, tired-looking man named David, who had with him a strange bronze idol of some monstrous being. Everyone else in the room was notably keeping their distance because of how scary it is. It's interesting that the camera would have like an edited episode on it. Like it says like towards the end of the episode, but that's undoubtedly not how they record it on set, you know what I mean? James looks at the idol, appearing rather nervous. He tells David that this was a bit out of his range and asks David why he didn't take it to a museum. David ignores the question and asks James what the idol is. James explains that this is an idol made by the Taclans, an offshoot of the Mayan civilization which started their own culture around 2800 BC. The Taclans had a separate religion from the Mayans, which was dubbed Zarkanism by archaeologists. James briefly explains that the Zarkanism was a monotheistic religion in which the creator of the earth and humanity was an evil being called Zarka. The Taklans believed that only an evil being would create a world with so much pain and suffering. They reasoned that all the good in the world was the result of Zarka being asleep, and so they constantly sacrificed humans, Taklans, and outsiders alike to ensure that Zarka would remain in that state. James then says that he believes David's idol might actually be a depiction of Zarka, who had been described in ancient texts as having a skull-like face, 2 cranial horns, and a tail. James gives an estimate that he could easily sell this to a museum for upwards of $5 million. Good for him. David is completely unfazed and prepares to get up and leave. James then remarks about the idol. Besides, I'm sure you'll be glad to be getting rid of that ugly thing. David then starts shuddering and tells James, you shouldn't talk about it like that. People scream in terror as James is suddenly incinerated, along with the building around them, as the camera falls to the ground. This is the last viewable scene on the tape. I can't think of a funnier way to end your story than the guy just like lighting on fire. Like imagine he just like fucking like cruelty squad sound effect, everyone's burning alive with
This fucking doll in the room. Some research was made into how the wreckage was dealt with. The bodies of all the attendees were found, along with several destroyed antiques. No remnant of the idol was found. Antiques Roadshow? You're gonna make a scary story about Antiques Roadshow? I could imagine being a kid and like, I don't know, mom's got QVC on the fucking screen all the time. She's watching Antiques Roadshow. You want to watch like Pokemon or some shit, and it's like, no, it's adult TV time. And thinking like, man, if only this guy would just fucking light on fire for no reason. I mean, that's all I got for you. Have a good night, I guess. Bye.